this is Scott Smith, and I'm here for another Saturday service. It's July 21st, 2024. After last week's messages, I found I was pulling the star all week as well as the towers. So if you didn't watch that video and you're curious to what I'm talking about, it's there. This week I've listened to the analytics, I've watched the rhythm, I've gotten feedback from people and understood where our attention span is at for these videos. So I've shortened this into a 3 to 6 minute segment so it's not so long. I do love long talks. As you know, I can go on for 20 and 30 minutes because it's a pleasure and I really like to do it. And I like for the message to get through, so let's see if I can keep it within that margin of things. Last week sounded like between challenge and vision is a middle way, not to get swept away by the hardships of things, not to get overtaken by the vision, but a balance point between the two where you can place your feet and walk forward and sort of find your step, because we can get swept away in one or the other. We get lost in the fantasy, or we become overly focused in the spiral of what's wrong. But there's a middle way, and that middle way was really key for me. Not being a hard ass about it and not, escaping. I found that healing for me and the way forward was putting down the scourge. That's rarely a healing implement, and it's not always necessary for us to be that hard ass. So, I had to look at my own ticks and tocks and see the way that I was moving through the world and spend some time coloring, meditating, and sharing my experiences with others to really find what I needed, which was a lot more gentler. We don't do well with hardness. This week's message was derived from life experiences as an energy worker, as a witch, as an artist, as a minister, with clients, families, and friends, things that we all have. And I'm using the cards as a medium for that message so that there's no bias. Even though I'm reading it, there is some bias always. The arc of the week is based on 3 things, and they are sort of astrological in a weird way, where I'm using the cardinal, the fixed, and the mutable as sort of the arc of the week. So from Saturday to Saturday, basically. That's how I'm going to work it. So the energies at the beginning of the card and the start. This is the 5 of Rods. I'm using the Tarot of the Old Path. I really love the color and the expression in this deck. So this is that 5 of Wands energy. This is a fire energy. This is the energy that's coming in, saying, hello, how you doing? This is the energy I'm bringing this week. And with the 5s, you can get conflict or you can get struggle. So you can have that information in there that feels like, this is not fitting together right. This is not working for me. I don't understand why you're not working with me correctly. I don't understand why everyone seems to be working against me. I don't know. You have that sense of struggle with a 5. It's a bit of a saddle. It's like between the physical and the immaterial, or the idyllic, or the energetic, because it's a wand. And so it's really learning, I'm gonna replace that. It's really understanding that we're in a place of learning to find the way that things fit. So I used citrine this week for that, for the start of the week. I'm using citrine for 2 reasons. It's clarifying and energizing. So it taps into the fire energy, but it also helps to sort of understand what line, right? Because it has all those little striations in the middle of the stone, and this helps us to really say this goes here and that goes there. It helps us to discern. Maybe that's not the common meaning of the stone, but that's the one I'm going to go with to start. So the introduction to the energy this week might reflect some of the things from last week, because nothing is a clear delineation. It's weeks, days, hours, times. These are all things of interpenetration of water in the sand, right? So things overlap. The second card for midweek, after we've had the introduction of the energies, which seems to be how does this work out? How does this fit together? We had death reverse. So it's to a lesser degree on this one, and I'm using moss agate on this one. I want to really tap into the earth energy with this. This has a Virgo quality to it in that it's healing. It shifts our energy from our own business, maybe with the moss agate, and focuses a little bit more on the planetary energies or the planetary consciousness, but in a very gentle, personal, intimate way. So it's not about the world, but it's sort of Where are my feet in the world? What am I doing? And this is important with that death card. Death is very much a part of life. These things are, again, interwoven and they're happening at the same time. And this card is saying things are ending. Maybe not as big of an ending as you might be making it out. So watch blowing things up or making them bigger than what they are. Or don't try to lessen the changes that might be happening. That Mox agate can help us to remain grounded in that. Then the final card that we had closing out the week. This is the mutable energies. This is the thing where it can be a little bit harder. How do we soften our energies, or how do we put things into perspective in the way that they are changing as we start to transit into the energies of next week? And I have the Eight of Swords. This is also in reverse. This was pointed out to me, the Sagittarian energy of this, where I had a reading and they said, this can be like, all of the swords or all of the hardships that we're experiencing, and it has that Sagittarius like, hey, jump in the car, let's go over there, which actually has good use. And I'd love to share that message forward, because I think it's very important that we understand that Sagittarians' urge to go over the next hill is not always a bad thing. Sometimes it takes us out of the thing that we're in so that we get a better perspective. However, I don't want that to be escapism, as the card is in reverse. So I'm balancing it with its opposite sign, and I'm using carnelian for that, which helps us to be more intimate with our body energy and more present where we're at. So at the start of the week, it might look a little bit struggly. Passions could rise. It's got that fire energy. Midweek, there can be a sense of like, what am I doing? Where am I going? How is this working? Trying to blow things out of proportion. And end of the week, there could be some escapism, and this could be necessary escapism, because you don't need to be so serious. You don't need to be stoic all the time. I always flip the deck over at the end to say like, what's there? And we have the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man, there is the suspension of certain things, is the release and letting go of certain things. I've been working with the OM this week as well, and there's a lot in there that tells me to let go and allow things to flow and allow things to be. So watch that heart starts at the beginning, recognize there's some things that we're letting go of, and dabble in some escapism if it works for you, but not so much. We don't want to do an avoidance here. So that's my reading for the week. I hope you enjoyed it. This is Scott K. Smith. I went over my time, but I'm learning and I'm trying. You can find me at starandstonellc.com and around. If you Google my name, I'm out there, but you can find all my relevant social links there. Blessed be, blessed be, blessed be. If you like it, hit like and subscribe.